How do you best use tutors for outputting? This question is from DFG. I'm taking tutors at the stage 3 level and was wondering if there are any tips or suggestions on how to best make use of tutoring that would align with threefold methodology, immersion learning, that sort of thing. At the moment, most of it is just free flow talking with occasional corrections. Is there anything else that would boost effectiveness?
Yeah, definitely. So when we think about the process of speaking or output in general, we again fall into this same like intensive free flow or interactive free flow dynamic that we had with input. So it's a situation where free flow is really meant to develop comfort with something, to cement things, to make them easier, to develop that instinct, whereas the intensive or interactive is there to help you learn new things, expand your outside of your comfort zone, learn to talk about new things, correct your mistakes. And so it's important to do both of those things. And you can do both of them with a tutor. So what we find, and what I've found personally, is that if I just focus on free flow and I just keep talking, it's like, yes, I get more comfortable, but I don't get more correct. And so it's really important to integrate some sort of correction into the system as well. So what I've done is, there's a couple different ways to do correction. If you do writing, it's very easy to get corrected. So what I'll do is write something, and then I'll like go into a conversation with a tutor and have them correct everything for me. And that enables me to like see my mistakes. And if there's something that I don't understand, we can talk about that in the call. It's useful to do that writing ahead of time so you can like use the time in the call to actually do all those corrections. Other kinds of corrections that you can do, if you record yourself speaking, you can have them go through and mark any mistakes. And you can see like, oh, did I note those same mistakes or not? And then you can also do pronunciation. So like reading aloud, they can also highlight your pronunciation mistakes.
I just had a brilliant idea. Sorry, keep going.
Anyway, so those are just like 3 ways to use tutors for correction, in addition to the free flow. And so in terms of where you're going to get the most bang for your buck, I tend to find that free flow is best done like in meetups and with people in real life, because you don't really have the opportunity for correction. And it's more free flow or free form, and you can talk about anything, etc. It can be useful to use tutors for the comfort side of things, but if you're going to be paying for it, you might as well spend that on correction, where you can't really do that outside of a tutoring environment.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing to focus on. And my biggest tip for that is to prepare for the lesson by outputting. I think whenever I've had like those like sessions where we're trying to correct something, it's been way more useful to have something to talk about, because then you get the free flow time of like chatting with the tutor going, all right, so this is what I was trying to say, this kind of idea. And they go, oh, cool. Then we could have actually phrased it like this. It's a lot more clear this way. Yep. And you can get your corrections on what you did while using free flow. But it's very tempting just to show up to your class and assume that this hour is going to be what you get from this. But tutoring is not cheap, right? It's not free. And so getting more out of that 30 minutes, 45 hour, or whatever it is very helpful for just your budget. But also I think it's more useful to prep things beforehand. And the idea that I had was actually to use the tool that we use for recording the audio for Anki-Dex, that I'm actually making a tutorial on because I think it's a really useful tool, would be to record either a page of a book or sentences as individual audio files, and then go through them with your tutor and go find, so they can point out, okay, this sounds weird, and you can hear it 4 or 5 times. Because if live you're talking and they go, okay, that sounded weird, you'd be like, what sounded weird? I don't remember what I just said, right? Like things like that, where it's a lot harder to talk about specific phrasings or sentences that you said or whatever it is, if it's already off in the ether and gone. But if it's concrete and you can look at or hear it, it is a lot more useful to process and to kind of put into your, I guess, longer term memory. So that would be my biggest tip, and probably something that I will do for all of my check output, is to really prepare for each session.
Yeah, preparing for sessions just makes them more useful. So I'm definitely guilty of just showing up to a session being like, I didn't prepare for this at all.
Yeah, I think that is a leak in efficiency.
Hey, as you know, there's a lot of language learning advice out there. which can make it kind of overwhelming and difficult to actually get going on your own learning. If you feel like you're struggling to figure out language learning, you're not alone. It's an extremely complicated process with tons of different steps. If you're looking for a step-by-step guide to create the perfect language learning routine for you, then you have to check out our new course. We spent thousands of hours designing a simple and straightforward process that you can use to create your own personalized language routine that actually works. We understand that every learner is different and that you have to roll with the punches and adapt. Every day for 30 days, I walk you through everything you need to know to build an effective learning routine, no matter your circumstances. We give you the advice and resources you need to ensure your success, so you don't have to waste time looking for stuff to do and can focus on learning. And if any questions do come up, don't worry. We are always there to answer any questions and clear up confusion. And it's all backed by our 90-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee. If, for whatever reason, something's not quite working for you, we insist you get every penny back. It's time for you to stop wishing that you could learn a second language. It's time to become the master of your language learning journey. Check out the link below to get instant access and start your journey today.